It is December summertime of 2017, so my mates and I are all 10 years old and we have absolutely been loving school every single day. Do you remember when it was the end of the year in school and you just didn't have much boring work on? You'd do PE every day, your free time in class, making posters, watching movies in class, all that sort of thing. That's exactly what was happening here. It couldn't get much better than this for a 10-year-old kid. I'd wake up super early, go on the treadmill in the morning, I'd walk to school with my mate, do all of my work flawlessly in class. We'd do free time. I'd play basketball at the break with loads of guys and girls in my class. I remember I had a little girlfriend this year, and I remember every single recess and lunch, our whole group would just leg it down to the basketball court so that we would get the full court to play basketball on with like 20 kids. But I remember one day, this girl who we didn't particularly like came up to us whilst we were playing basketball, and she started, she was asking if she could play with us. And my mates and I, being the leaders of the whole thing, we go and speak to her. Everyone sort of paused the game because she's speaking to us. There's like 15, 20 kids just surrounding this girl. And we said no because she was a really rude girl. She was known to get in trouble. We didn't want to hang out with her. And when we say no, she starts getting angry because my mate didn't just say no. I think he told her fuck off. And he's a funny kid at 10 years old. He had ADHD, so he was a bit skits. But told her to fuck off, and then she got up in his face and started yelling at him and then getting real angry at him. Now I remember after she got up in his face and she was yelling, he ends up tackling her onto the ground. It wasn't super violent, but he did tackle her onto the ground, right? But 5 minutes later, a teacher comes over and is asking questions, and I don't know why we didn't all just collectively as a group say that he didn't do it. Not that would have been the right thing to do, but I would have thought that would be the logical thing to do as 10-year-olds at the time. But he ends up getting caught, he gets in trouble, and there was a detention system at our school where you'd get this piece of paper that was coloured. It was called a slip or something, and he gets one of those, he gets in trouble, he has to go to detention at the lunch. And I know we hear this all the time, but actions really do have consequences. Now, a consequence isn't necessarily a negative thing so long as you learn from it. Okay, so from this experience, let's say that my mate, he tackles this girl, he learns that's probably not the smartest thing to do. Next time he's faced with a similar situation, perhaps he learns to use his words a little bit better to portray the same message, fuck off. But this relates very much to my court case, which I still do not see as a negative to this day, although it did cost me a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of mental health sacrifice, I would say. So for those of you who don't know, I got into this court case where I beat up a guy, was in court for 1.5 years, couldn't speak to my mates who were involved, which happened to be my only mates, isolated myself and all that sort of thing. So the consequence here was I beat up a guy, I go to court, potentially go to jail. I was fortunate enough not to. But I only look at things to be a negative consequence if you don't learn something from them. Okay, in every consequence, there is an opportunity, and you need to be the one to spot that. In this case, I saw the opportunity to get completely clean, get sober, and never go back. Start a business, start making money, start improving myself, start improving my health, and just becoming the best version of myself. And I feel I executed on that quite well. But from this point, I would say that the big opportunity was learning to spot opportunity, because I didn't think at all that beating some guy up and going to court was an opportunity. But I think it was a godsend, because I've said it before, I don't think I would have even gotten off of half the shit I was on if I hadn't have had this whole experience happen. So for every, I guess you'd say, negative thing, if you want to call them that has happened from that point, I've just learned to say, hey, this is happening for my greatest good. Maybe someone's leaving my life for a new person to come in. Maybe I'm not feeling the greatest now, so that when I do feel good, it's just so much sweeter. And as I do say, a consequence isn't just an outcome of a negative action. It can be an outcome of a positive one as well. You go up and talk to a girl, she could potentially say no. I guess that's your version of a negative outcome. But she could say yes, she could one day be your wife. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You start working on a business, you've got to cut off some friends. Maybe you feel super lonely, your mental health suffering because you don't have any friends. One day he could be a millionaire from that business. It's all about assessing your risk to reward and working out what a good consequence would be from this action, what a bad one would be, and which one is more likely. So I did not do this in high school. I made the worst decisions I possibly could, and it was all just in the name of short-term dopamine. So a lot of the time, me and my mates would do stupid things. I remember my mate Crocker heard this girl was talking shit about me. So he poured a whole fucking bottle of mayonnaise on her. I don't know what he thought that would result in, but it resulted in him getting into massive trouble off of, the deputies at school. And that's just acting off of emotion, not assessing where this is going to lead. It'll be funny in the moment. He thought it would be funny. It was funny for him. I wasn't even there. But obviously he got into trouble. He got a call home. His mum was not happy. I don't know. He might have even got suspended. I'm not quite sure. But for everything that I've done, I've learned an important lesson from. I've actually been able to take something from it and spot the opportunity where I need to, because in everything that happens in life, there is opportunity. I was reading my book this morning, Reality Transurfing, and it's going through a page where this guy has sent the fellow who wrote this book an email. And this guy was saying, my life was so good. I had my dream job. I had these amazing relationships with friends. I had a wife, a partner. I live really close to my parents. And then all of a sudden, I've got a new job that I don't particularly enjoy. I don't live for my work anymore. I don't like where I live. There's no work-life balance, this and that. He's got more time on his hands to do things he wants instead of going to work, which was the thing that he previously enjoyed. And the way the author frames this is that there is so much opportunity there that it's not funny, but you just haven't spotted. You've framed it in a negative light. You've got so much time on your hands now. You could start to do things that you actually enjoy. You could start a business. You could take walks on the beach, whatever the fuck it is you enjoy doing. You could be so much more fulfilled in that time, but instead you choose to sit around and sob and I just miss my old job. I'm going to sit around and reminisce and then think about how shit my life is now. So I just like the way the author frames that. It's like most people who would be in the situation that I'm in, right? Quit their job, went from making a fair bit of money per month to making $0 a month. They would frame that as, fuck, I was making such good money when I was working, $1,200 a fortnight. It's not good at all. But $1,200 a fortnight, and now I'm making none. Oh man, I was so much better then than I am now. No, I'm so much more mentally clear now. I know exactly where I want to be, exactly where I'm going to be. I'm clear on my vision and values and the type of people who I want to surround myself with. I have such a clear mental state. I have very good habits that I've implemented every day. I've put on 13 kilos since I left my job. So everything I've achieved from then I am proud of. But if I'm looking at it in the frame of, I've gone from making this much money to now making no money, I would be upset. Now, the only reason I'm not monetized is because I got demonetized with a strike. And I was fortunate for that, because maybe it's God telling me, hey, just go through this a little bit more, You've got enough money. Let's just let your bank account go down a little bit. You see how that feels, and then I'll give you the money after that. Because maybe it's God saying, hey, you're getting too comfortable. I'm not going to give you this yet. You don't deserve it yet. So I'm not sitting here like, oh, fuck, man, I'm not monetized. Oh, that's a bummer. I just see it as opportunity, and I've capitalized on that opportunity, because when I got demonetized, I was on like 2,000 subscribers. So I was like, fuck it. Whilst I'm demonetized, I'm going to grow my audience as much as possible. I'm going to help people change their lives as much as I possibly can, because I want to make an impact. Right, so to conclude, you need to try and identify the lesson in every situation, whether it be a positive or a negative consequence, and learn to spot opportunity and evaluate your risk to reward ratio before making a decision. Now, if you have been watching me for a while and you're looking to get my one-on-one help, click the top link in the description. That's going to take you to my online school community, where I host calls every single Sunday with every single one of you in there, helping you through whatever struggles you may be facing, helping you grow your personal brand and everything of that nature. All right, stay grinding, G.